All right, so in this video, I want to go over the ultra stupid No Jumper hip hop cipher that came out the other day. If you guys have been paying attention at all to No Jumper, which you probably have not, for the last month or so, the 16 of Nashua and his supporting cast at No Jumper have been promoting this hip hop cipher that they would all be taking part in. And this idea came from, of course, the disgraced, failed music platform Thizzler. From the San Francisco Bay Area, Thizzler did a cipher and with their artists that they think are good, and it was just ultra weak and stupid and dumb, and nobody fucking liked it. And so the 16 of Nashua thought that he could do a better cipher, and this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to outshine Thizzler and steal their little thing that they're doing up north and make it his own and do a way better job. And boy, that's Jala. What? That's Jala saying, that's what Jala says, boy, was he ever wrong. This cipher that No Jumper just came out with was amazingly shitty, and I can't wait to break the whole thing down for you guys, starting with the first clip. But before we begin, I want to just define key terms here. So a cipher is like an idiotic gathering of hip-hop people, and they take turns rapping.
I don't give a fuck, my freestyles is nice, so every time I step out in a fresh pair of Nikes.
Yeah. Fresh pair of Nikes or Pumas, check it out, I'ma hop in like I'ma do ya in the wrong.
Essentially like an improvised gathering of artists, and they pretty much play a beat and pass the microphone around and take turns rapping. Okay, that's the basic idea. And so throughout the course of this endeavor, the 16 of Nashua thought that this was going to be a massive success and that he was going to have a side rap career. This is what he thought of himself. He thought that he was going to be a breakout rapper. And so that brings us to the first clip. This is small, but I think it's important.
I'm not a podcaster. I'm an artist.
You're an entertainer.
I do it all. I'm a rapper.
Oh, I got you with shit.
So this podcast came out maybe 2 weeks before we saw the cipher drop, and the 16 had been working on his craft, his raps. He's been writing and writing and writing, just impressing himself, like writing something down and reading it back and going, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good. And it wasn't. It was actually the ultimate in cringe. And I want to make sure everyone understands that he's not joking. Okay, this is one of my fears, that people are going to say, they're going to write this off as like, oh, he was trolling. This was planned cringe. This was supposed to be a silly little joke. And I've got to disagree with you guys. This was actually intended to be 100% serious. The 16 thought that this would be another way to revive the brand. He thought that everyone was going to become rappers. I'm not even joking.
Should we do a No Jumper cipher?
Yeah.
A la the amp cipher that we just saw. And do you think that we could do more views than the XXL one? Because like it has been pointed out that XXLs, it took like a week or two.
Yeah.
The amp one, which by the way, I was extremely impressed by, besides Kevin Hart, is that's like blew my mind of like how much bigger that was. I kind of feel like we could give XXL a run for their money. I definitely think we could shit on Thizzler. No shots. Thizzler, much respect. I feel like we got this.
Yeah, easily.
Are you gonna spit something?
I definitely am gonna spit something. Yes.
Yeah, we gonna go crazy.
Definitely.
I also want a note in the record that the 16 suggested that they get ghost writers to write their verses for them because he wanted it to be really good. This was never intended to suck. This was supposed to be a fucking blow the doors off of the internet situation.
Will Flacco need help with writing?
No, Flacco says that he's a rapper.
Because I don't want any of us to look bad. I want us to all be bringing our best foot forward, and to me that means like if we need a little bit of extra weaponry in the studio, oh, we're gonna have like some top tier lyricists, or at least being willing to like defer to.
Wow, so he was worried that Jala was going to embarrass him on his cipher. He was worried about Jala, and I want that pointed out. Okay. Let's go to our next one. This is going to be, this is going to be the behind the scenes footage of the video shoot. This is coming from the 16's Instagram story. And I just want to show you this. This is what it looked like behind the scenes. Look at, they're trying to help Jala onto the roof. He can't get up. He has to be hoisted onto the roof. He has like 9 people trying to help. It's like he's a hurt elephant, and they're trying to rescue him from a flood. This was truly embarrassing, and the 16's just belly laughing at him. And I also want to point out, they're shooting this on the roof of a public business in ghetto-ass Hollywood. This is on Melrose. I've been to the store. It's an extremely shitty store. It's very grungy. It's run down looking. Go see for yourself. But I want to point it out that they shot this video on the roof. They had drones flying. I mean, did they have a permit for this? This is a commercial video shoot. And they're on the roof, and they've got drones flying in the city limits of LA. I want to know, did the FAA approve this? Is the pilot of the drone FAA approved? I need to know if there was a permit. I don't think the 16 paid for a permit. And so if the authorities are watching this video, I want this matter to be looked into, and I want fines. So let's go ahead and take a look at this behind the scenes.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I didn't really mean to stop.
Actually, that's the hook. What? Stop! What the hell? I can climb up.
Trying to help you. Got it.
You trying to like wish me on for me?
Come on, I was trying to help you.
Oh, damn. Look, oh, my God.
Oh, no.
It's all done now. But guess what, though?
You're here.
But hey, listen, though. Being dirty, rapping about them dirty niggas I'm talking about. that's how we do it, right?
You know the funniest thing? You might have to do a
What the fuck is so funny? I mean, that was like a chuckle at best, at the very most. You hear the 16, it's not that funny. Okay. So the 16's fake as fuck. I don't know why he would be making fun of Jala for looking like a baby elephant being rescued. It's just so disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just why? For what reason other than to just shit on him? You know what I mean? Like, it's like he doesn't think that he can write his own raps. He's laughing at the physical state of his being. It's almost like, why even have him on the cipher if you don't respect? I mean, this is bullying to me. You know, like, why are you bullying him? And so once they're able to secure Jala to the roof, they actually start to film the cipher, the video shoot. And this is where things take an unexpected turn. Well, I shouldn't say an unexpected turn, but it really was just fully unnecessary. And so let me just try to explain what's going on. So the 16 is always looking for a reason or an excuse to take his shirt off.
And then she just blocked me after. It's cool.
Why are you so hurt about it?
Holy shit.
Adam, what are you doing?
It's a little hot in here, don't you think? Think you ready to keep it hood stocks or what?
What do you think? Come on, man.
Oh, shit. Let's
You
go.
think we on, fool?
Oh, see, I like you in a white beater, too.
White beater.
White beater, Lush?
Either
Pretty
way.
gangster, but I mean, the shirt off is pretty hard, too. Look how much chest hair I have.
He got
my
like
shit's
an
out of
afro.
control right now.
He looks like Mikey.
I'm going to let him see it from an angle.
He
Check me
said,
out.
I'm a, you know what it reminds me of? 40-year-old version.
BBL,
When he had to
Grammy.
get
It
his-
is hot as
I don't know if this is just like a sign of like crippling insecurity, but every time the 16 disrobes on camera, he immediately points out his chest hair. It's just so cringe. And if you look up at the top of the screen, this is actually very interesting. Lush has removed his hat and his shirt and is seen on camera with like completely in the natural state. This is Nicholas Himes. This is not Lush. This is, I wouldn't even know who this, if I saw this guy walking around LA, I would think that he was a movie star for like a little person at a, like a Vern Troyer stunt double. I would not think that this was Lush. So Lush, all he has to do to not get approached is just walk around like this. No one would know who he was. So I thought that was interesting. So the 16 is always trying to fucking take his shirt off. He wants other people to do it with him so that he can look better by comparison or some shit. I don't know. In his mind, he looks like Matthew McConaughey when he takes his shirt off. And so he didn't want to be the only one. And so the 16 of Nashua says, let's all take our shirts off and we'll have our nipples glistening in the sun. And that's exactly what happened. And I couldn't tell you how shitty everyone looked. You're just going to have to see for yourselves. Look at this. And so they shot the scenes with their shirts off. They reviewed this on the monitor and saw themselves. And they said, yeah, let's put this out. Okay, I can't come up with a reason why they would do this. And so everyone was just topless as fuck, except for Jala. Okay, Jala did not take his anything off. In fact, he had a beanie on the whole time. The entire video shoot, he had the beanie on because he had to cover his mouth because it wouldn't sync up because he would always be doing this. He would always be stuttering. So he's physically not capable of doing a live performance with synchronization, so he had to cover his mouth, which is incredibly funny. And he didn't take his shirt off. He probably thought that he was too robust. He was too rotund. And I thought, my idea was, why not walk Jala out there in a Speedo, basically stark naked, with orange and black body paint made up to be like a basketball, and just have him be like a huge joke. That would have actually gone incredibly viral. I don't know why they didn't do that. And so getting back to my original point, everyone had their shirts off. This actually made things worse. This made people click off. The 16 thought that he was going to be showcasing his sick new physique, when in fact he looks like Costanza. He has the same body as Costanza. In fact, Costanza actually has muscle. So it could be argued that Costanza has a better physique than the 16. I mean, look at the uncanny resemblance of these torsos. And speaking of torsos, Sharp was not in attendance. I was wondering the whole time, where's Sharp? Where's Crane Crush and Sharp Rob?
Good.
I freestyle.
Will Sharp do it?
Sharp's gonna do it.
He should be here. He would be a huge draw. He could have accounted for at least 25,000 more views on the first day. And people online were speculating that Sharp Rob didn't show up for the Cypher because he fears Dodson. And Dodson, of course, was there. Shirt was off. He looked absolutely hilariously bad. He's built like Milhouse Van Houten. That's not a joke. He like the shape of, if you silhouetted this would be Milhouse. So, that's whole other story is Dodson, because he's just not important. Okay. But something that I think is very important is this, something that I found that I thought was extremely, pertinent to this investigation. Look, so this is going to be a shot of the back of the 16's head. I've always been looking for a well-lit, direct shot the back of his head. I want to see the donor region. He's had hair taken from the back of his head like 19 times to be implanted on the top to disguise his baldness. Now, when I saw this, I was so disturbed. I was like, whoa, his head is interesting. He looks like Grandpa Simpson, and I mean that as a compliment. I actually think that his head looks very cool. And so shouts to Adam's back of his head, and his head shape looks absolutely amazing. I was initially prepared to criticize him, but I can't find anything wrong with this. This is absolutely, no wonder he does porn. He looks great. And so the Cypher happens, they film it, they publish it, they put it out. It's a extreme failure. I think they only did like 86,000 views in the first day. The 16 thought that he was going to give XXL a run for their money, and he thought that he was going to blow Thizzler out of the water, which is pretty funny because Thizzler absolutely sucks. Thizzler's a joke. Thizzler might be as big of a joke, if not bigger, as No Jumper. Thizzler is trash. So for him to set out on a mission to shit on Thizzler and fail is absolutely funny, okay? And that's why we're here today to cover this, because it was just so bad that I was like, yeah, I can't let this one go. I've got to figure out a way to get a video out. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos very soon. I'm in the middle of some bullshit, but I hope you guys can find it in your hearts to just hold on and bear with me here, because I'm going to be putting out so much content that you guys are going to unsubscribe. It's going to be too much for your timeline. So they put this stupid ass Cypher out. No one likes it. And I want to show you guys some reaction from the No Jumper show the following day. The 16 usually isn't on this podcast, but he came in because he wanted to hear what the fans had to say, and it wasn't good.
Marco, by far the best verse, LOL. Adam's cadence is terrible, but the bars were funny. Whoever wrote them, fuck you. At $5 and said, all y'all look out of shape, especially Almighty and Suspect. Brick's the only one that looks fit. I saw somebody compare you to a Geodude. I was fucking with that.
You see that?
You know what a Geodude is?
No.
Wow, so someone in Super Chats, everyone looked bad with their shirts off. Everyone's bodies looked really, really terrible. And Adam just immediately changes the subject, starts talking about Pokemon. I mean, really, I've never seen someone so insecure in my fucking life. Insecure and delusional, that is. So the 16 he reviews the Cypher himself, and this is what he has to say about his Cypher.
A Geodude is?
No, look at my titty.
No, you got a nice little peck moving there. Yeah. Okay, memorable or funny? Like, I honestly feel like almost every bar in mine is being like repeated. I'm getting DMs back to back to back of people just saying the things that I said in my verse over and over. Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't think I could name a single bar from theirs besides the realization that AD thinks that Canada is in America. He said, you flew across the country to see a Canadian. That's a direct quote.
All right, so I got to explain what's going on here. So the 16 is talking about Compton AD and T-Rel from Figmunity coming out with a response diss. They took a page out of Dot's book and did a immediate response that was prepared, and they released it strategically immediately after in order to I don't even know what the fuck. So they put out this response diss, and it was a way better diss, I think. I mean, they basically just said the same thing they've been saying over and over again for the past 2 years. But they did it in Cypher form, and they were being very disrespectful, which I appreciate. I hate it when people pussyfoot around in a beef. So just say what you want to say, and that's exactly what they did. And so AD has this line where he says, he flew across the country just to groom a Canadian. And what AD is referring to is the fact that the 16 of Nashua bought plane tickets and flew across the country to meet his online teenage girlfriend to have a physical relationship. And a lot of people called this grooming, which I believe it was. And so that's really disturbing. And the 16 addresses this and calls this bar stupid because he says that Canada is not in this country. Well, let me explain. So AD never said he flew across the United States and stayed in the United States the entire time and groomed a Canadian. He just simply said he flew across the country just to groom. You know, bars and lines don't have to make literal sense. They just need to flow. So the 16 doesn't understand anything about this hip hop. And it's really kind of funny that he's addressing this and like getting people to talk about this again. Why not just ignore it? This obviously bothers him very much. And so in saying that, I believe that AD has taken down the W. It's obviously pissed Adam off. He's talking about it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if he's in the United... I mean, if you fly from Nashua to Vancouver, you're flying across a country. It's on the other side of the country. It's on the other side of Canada and on the other side of the United States. It's very sort of petty for him to say, he thinks that Canada is in the United States because he said... Very, very petty, very desperate as well. And he misquoted the bar too. He said, to see a Canadian. No, he said groom a Canadian. GROOM, groom. Okay, we need to be accurate here. And so the 16 is truly pathetic for this. And so now Brick Baby is going to sense the tension in around this subject. He knows that the 16 is terribly bothered by this. So he's going to come and save Daddy, and he's going to say, why the fuck was they talking about this? Because you bet the bitch when she was a little kid, you waited for her to turn 18, then you went and fucked the bitch. On the dead obies, there's nothing wrong with it. So this is what you're about to see. Watch this. And Adam's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. He does not want, you can see it in the 16's face. People in the Discord brought this to my attention. I want to give a shout out to, who gave me this? Holy Drug Lord in our Discord server brought this to my attention. I have to agree. I think that the 16 did not want this to be a topic.
Oh, teen snipe, right? Like what? Like after all of this, you're going back to that,
right? Because that was already a failed meme from the live stream that they did like a week or two ago. It's
but
like,
even the whole situation is like, bro, he fucked the bitch when she was 19. He found out she was young, said no. Fucked her when I don't know what age, but when she was grown. It didn't matter. Right. You get what I'm saying? You're doubling back, and your brother got a weird case.
And T-Rel was on the private jet with Kylie Jenner when she was underage, which let's not even get into that.
Diverting the conversation away from the issue at hand. Very sneaky, very slimy. And I do want to say that meeting the person, the little girl or whatever you want to call them, online and doing this online relationship weirdo shit, meeting strangers on the internet is quite different than doing what Tyga did, which I do not condone. I'm just saying it's just way more weird and way more cringy and gross to be like a TCAP situation versus someone who, I mean, Kylie's parents, the Kardashians are fucking weirdos. They allowed all of it. They signed off on it, okay? So, I mean, is it bad? Yes. Is it gross? Yes. Is the 16 10 times worse? Yes. And so AD and T-Rel, in my opinion, have the 16 on his heels. He's taking this home. He's punching walls at the house. He's arguing with Lena probably, and this is all just thoughts. This is not a statement of fact. This whole video is bullshit. This whole video is a joke. It's all scripted comedy, okay? It's meant to be funny. None of it's true. I don't believe any of this, okay? Right? But I do want to play a clip of this Canadian SoundCloud rapper making fun of Adam's physique.
People feel when I talk about being fat, though. Because, I'll talk about being fat, and then other people will be like, you're not that fat.
You're ectomorph.
I don't know what that is.
It's
I'm
like
ecto cooler.
Like narrow shoulders, like skinny, like weak, like weak looking.
Okay, ectomorph is actually somebody who packs on muscle. No. A person
it's hard to pack on muscle. So I'm an endomorph.
So there's three.
I started fat. I'm trying to get rid.
Yeah. So the guest says, you like an ectomorph. And Adam goes, I don't know what that is. And he goes, you look like hilariously weak and narrow shoulders, wide hips, big old butt. And then Adam goes, actually an ectomorph is, now he's all of a sudden he's an expert on ectomorphs. Why would you say you didn't know? And then you're correcting him. Adam is deeply disturbed. He is the 16 of Nashua. So what do we got next? I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything. I mean, it was just an unremarkable cipher. They said that Jala had the best verse. They said that Almighty Dodson had the worst verse. They said that everyone thinks that the 16 got Lush to write his bars, which is true. I believe that is 100% true. And it was just a miserable failure. Okay, it was just no one gave a fuck. I didn't see any blogs pick this up. I mean, no one's reposting it. I mean, it's another, the Rowdy Rebel podcast did more numbers than this in one day. Just some random podcast. So, epic failure. They worked extremely hard on this. They had a whole crew. They had drones flying around. They took their shirts off. I mean, they really tried to make this a spectacle. Epic failure. So before I get out of here, I do want to give a shout out to this channel that I think can use a couple more views. He did this 45-minute doc on No Jumper, and it's full of degeneracy. I want people to go watch this. So a lot of great content. He worked really hard on it, I think. I mean, the amount of research and journalism. So check this out. Check out this channel and let me know what you guys thought of the cipher. Go watch the cipher. Go watch both ciphers. If you can, I mean, you know what I mean? It's really bad. So I don't recommend it, but please go watch it and let me know your thoughts. And of course, we'll see you guys on the next one.